Hi everyone, thanks for being here. So my name is Blake Finucane. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Pluto Digital, which is a crypto-based VC and tech operations company. I'm based in Vancouver in Canada, but the company is largely based in the UK. And I run the venture fund there, as well as the NFT fund. And when I say venture fund, I mean crypto venture fund. And in the NFT fund, I invest directly into gaming assets, profile picture collections, virtual land, crypto art, all of it. I was also one of the first people to write about NFTs from an academic standpoint. So in 2018, I published the first academic thesis on crypto art as part of my art history master's degree. And I began studying NFTs in 2016 as part of my master's research. So I've been in the space for quite a while, immersed, studying it, following it. And the inspiration for this talk really comes from the fact that Pluto is planning to go public in the next couple months. And we have a super committed, passionate following of LPs who actively track everything we're up to, really passionate on Telegram, on Twitter, following everything we're doing from the investment side to the hire side to projects we're building. And our shareholders are all based in the UK and come from traditional equity markets. And these are traditional investors who are used to participating in classic public market plays and who want to get exposure to the crypto ecosystem but don't feel comfortable doing it directly. And Pluto has represented a really good on-ramp for them, as it is structured as more of a traditional investment vehicle, but they're comforted by the fact that there will be an IPO in the coming months. So as I strategize about our messaging and how to communicate strongly as to the value proposition of NFTs, I think there's actually quite high stakes when it comes to NFT education in this context. And that's really the purpose of this talk, and why I think it's important, because we really haven't seen many companies go public who have an NFT fund or portfolio as an important part of their NAV. But I think there will be an onslaught of companies, for better or for worse, who will have NFTs as a central part of their value proposition in the coming months and certainly in the coming years. Because the equity markets they have a historic infrastructure that is really built upon being opportunistic around sectors and trends, and they're really built to flow into spaces with investment opportunities. So I think it is really inevitable that public market capital will flow into NFTs one way or another. And it really matters to address this and think about these things, because public companies moving into the realm of NFTs will be a key source of communication as to the value of this technology. And there will be a significant group of investors who will be onboarded and taught about NFTs through their public market investments and the public companies they follow. And as we all know, a public company's success is really based upon their communication and how they represent their value to their shareholders. So the question then becomes, how do you do that skillfully when addressing people who understand valuing a company and assets quite differently than we do in crypto? Obviously, here in America, we've seen Coinbase, who, of course, is a publicly traded company. I checked their market cap today. It's around $70 billion. So it will be interesting to see, as they launch their NFT platform, how that will actually affect their valuation. Because we've really never seen someone do this at such a large scale. I'm not even going to really mention Facebook today, but of course, that will be really interesting as well. They haven't directly communicating that they will be moving into NFTs specifically, but of course that will be on the docket. And Coinbase has explained that they've helped millions of people access Bitcoin for the first time. They want to do that for NFTs as well, making them more accessible, adding social features, curatorial component. So when you really look at it, there was 1 million people who signed up for their NFT waitlist within 2 days, and OpenSea has had 250,000 active wallets in the last 30 days. So this speaks to Coinbase's reach and how so many people are more comfortable accessing centralized crypto services. And again, I think that trend will tend towards centralized crypto services from public companies. And perhaps the other highest profile company to enter into the NFT sphere has been Visa. We've seen them communicate about their acquisition of their CryptoPunk more as a marketing play, aligning themselves with a historic crypto project, communicating that the buying process was a learning experience, which would allow them to more credibly and effectively communicate to their clients and partners to better understand the NFT market and signal their support for what they've called NFT commerce. And I think these are two really essential examples in terms of how large companies are communicating about NFTs and their importance. And of course, these companies have incredible reach and huge customer bases, which I believe represents a specific type of general influence over the entire crypto industry, as these large corporations will and have been setting the tone and direction for how to situate NFTs within communication, marketing, and business development plans within public companies. And from a smaller company's perspective like my own, I think there are maybe some issues that we run into that are important to address, primarily in terms of how to really communicate about what we're up to as we begin the IPO process. And in this case, we're really running into issues around communicating with auditors and regulators as to what an NFT actually is, let alone how to value them. Intricacies like floor prices versus rarity, these things can really get lost in translation. And how can you put a price on community engagement, quantifying organic internet culture that is being built? These nuances can really become flattened and lost in regulatory contexts. So coming up with strategies and policies around these things are key, starting from really communicating with these institutional arms all the way down to your smallest shareholders and really being aligned with the messages there. And in conclusion, because this is a short talk, I do believe the public market space, again, for better or for worse, on big boards like NASDAQ and smaller exchanges in London or in Canada, where I'm from, will be key to watch, as public companies will be a significant way in which people are taught and onboarded about NFTs and actually showing their value. And I do believe institutionalization will be a factor, even if it does sit in opposition to the ethos of NFTs, which makes it all the more important to follow this sector closely and watch the public space to make sure that we really get it right. And that's really what I'm trying to do, and really take this seriously as someone who has been following the space and seen its vibrancy and openness and the opportunities that it represents. And I'm looking to really capture this as much as possible in the public market context, as I really hope that the bigger companies will do as well. But nevertheless, big or small, I think this is quite an important space to watch. And in crypto, there can be major silos that we operate in, as do the public markets. So to bridge this gap will be very important. Thank you. That's the end of my talk.